part 2 of my big makeover. So before we get started, I'm going to begin where we left off. At the beginning of this video, I did highlight some of the stuff that we did in part 1, a little bit of some clips from part 1. It was a lot of wall washing, a lot of elbow grease, a lot of painting. It was just a lot of work, a lot of time, but this has been so worth it. I'm telling you, you wait till you see the end result. But I'm not going to show you that right now. Right now, I'm going to begin where I left off. So let's get right into that. Do you remember where the two sides of the ceiling met and we had a little bit of a space in there? Well, right now our carpenter is putting some blocks of wood up there. Those are going to serve as cleats because those are going to support beam. Yep, that beam. Isn't it beautiful? Wait until you see this. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for you to see this. So you can see up here, we have the cleats put up. I say we, he put them up. I just supervised. That is what the beam is going to attach to because you can see the beam is somewhat hollow and it'll just slide into place. This is a really long beam. It actually needed an attachment because it's so long. It's like 19 feet 3.5 inches, I want to say. Yeah, it's a really long beam, and I told him to distress this, so yeah, he distressed it up quite a bit, so it's gonna look really great when I stain it. I can't wait to see it up. Okay, let's see the beam go in place. And just like that, we have a beam. I am so excited. You can see where they joined it here. We have a little solution for that, so that is not going to show. Oh my gosh, I love it. It was tough to put in, as you can see. Yeah, it took, well, I thought third time was going to be a charm. I think it took actually 4 times putting it in. You can see the other side. It just perfectly separates these two spaces. And we really needed a separation of space. Give you a better idea from back here. I really felt like, this ceiling is just such a long span from one end of this room to the other. I mean, it's quite a long span. And I felt like it really needed something to break it up visually. And yeah, it really needed that beam. And this is what it looks like with the stain on. I think the stain really brings out all of the distressing. My husband and I are so thrilled with this. Look how great it looks. I'm so happy. Okay, so I have some more beams that are going up in our living room. I don't know if you can see them or not. Can you see them down there on the floor? Yeah. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. I I don't know if you can see the distressing on them. There's one here. I don't know if you can see that really, really well, but you will once I stain it, once I get the stain on it. That is what I'm doing right now, is I'm just staining it. And I just put on an old top. You can see it's got stuff all over it, and my baggy shorts. But yeah, I'm gonna get this all stained. I can't wait. I can't wait to get this done. He's coming tomorrow to install these, so I thought it would be easier to stain them before he puts them up, because otherwise I'm going to be doing the same thing I did to the first beam. I'm going to be doing a lot of this, and yeah, I'd rather not. So let's get staining. The best way to do this is to use an old sock, because you can just slide it right on your arm and just stain away. And I mean, you're gonna get stain going through the sock, but it's just easy because you're not having to move the rag all the time. It's on there. So that's what I like to do. Doesn't that look great? I am just trying to get in all of these nooks and crannies, all this distressing. I love it. I love how it darkens in the areas that it's heavily distressed. That is what I'm looking for. This is so much easier to do it this way because I can really see what I'm doing a lot better, and I can see which areas need to be covered better than others, and it's just gonna look so good. I can hear thunder in the background. Can you hear it? A little bit of thunder going on. Okay, so all the staining is done. You can see that it really brought out all the distressing in the beams in the wood. These 3 beams are for the kitchen side of the room. Then we have these 2 beams. Well, these 2 are uprights, and I'll show you what we're going to do with those in a little bit. And this is what my entryway looks like. We have 4 more beams here. These are the living room beams. There's a couple down there. And 2 on the top. I'm going to be staining these. Turn on light here. I'm going to be staining these while Sean is putting in the other 2. The 2 uprights. I'm trying to stand out of the way so you guys can get a good idea. This is chaos here. Look at this. Okay, back to the uprights. This is where we're putting them in. But first, we have to cut a little bit of the molding on around the window and on the mopboard. So that's what Sean's doing now. And then we're putting the upright in. Well, this is one of them. The other one's going to go on the other side. Doesn't it look great? And it's not quite finished yet. But first, well, you guessed it, more cleats for more beams. My carpenter is a bit camera shy, so I'm respecting his wishes and trying really hard not to get him on film. But that was really hard. Okay, so the cleats are up on the kitchen side. Remember I showed you where the ceiling wood is running in different directions? The grains are going one way on the kitchen side and a different way on the living room side. Well, the beams are going to run in different directions as well. So these are up. There's 3 beams for the kitchen, and oh yeah, I forgot to show you the other upright. That's up too. You can see a little bit more now how this is coming together. Doesn't it look great? Look at this one. I mean, it just kind of separates the spaces, which is exactly what we were trying to accomplish, a separation of kitchen and living room. I really love it. My husband really loves it. We're not quite finished yet. There's still a lot more to do. The joys of staining wood. Yes. I stained and stained and stained. I felt like I was staining in my sleep. There was a lot of it, and I tried to do most of it out on the porch so I wouldn't have to have my house smelling like wood stain, but it was raining, so I had to be inside. So this is my makeshift workshop out here in my entryway. It's just an old table and the beams and stain, and yes, that is me in my pajamas. I did a lot of staining and I just didn't get dressed every single day, and Sean wasn't here on this day, and it was just me trying to get all of this done before he came back to get these beams up. So that's what I'm doing here, and while I'm doing it, I'm listening to a podcast by Mallory Ervin. She's a motivational speaker. She has a lot of wisdom in her young years, and I enjoy so much listening to everything she has to say. She has so much positive energy. I mean, she's so upbeat, and she does a really great job of being one of the most positive people that I know. She also has a YouTube channel, if you want to follow her on that. It's Mallory Ervin. I'm going to link everything below in my channel box. You really want to go and at least check her out. She's also on Instagram. You can look her up. Like I said, Mallory Ervin. She has the sweetest little family and the most adorable little boy, Ford. But anyway, back to the podcast. She has all kinds of different guests on there. Her husband, her dad. Her dad's one of my favorite ones on there. That podcast that she did with her dad, that was just absolutely amazing. I am in awe of this family. Just look below in my channel box. Check them out. You will not be sorry. They're done, finally. I had run out of stain, so I had to continue the next day. Had my husband pick some stain up on his way home from work. Look, this goes on and on and on and on and on. Yeah, these are 16 feet. Very, very long, but look how beautiful they are. This is a golden oak stain. I think it's going to match the ceiling quite well. Well, I know it does because we have one beam up already, and it looks so good. Look at all of this. I mean, these beams are just beautiful, but they did require a lot of stain. We now have the first beam up on the kitchen side. It looks so good. We have 2 more to go. This is the process that we went through to get each beam up. It wasn't always as simple as it looks, but the outcome was just absolutely beautiful. Look at this. This looks so good. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm going to show you from another angle. This is from the other side of the kitchen. Doesn't it look great? I mean, it totally changed the look. We still have this whole area to do. Still a lot more to do. We're trying not to hit the lights, so because we don't want to run the beams and run them across the lights. So it's becoming a measuring issue here. I think we spend more time measuring than anything else, but this is looking good. It's looking really, really good, and I'm very, very pleased. Well, I will tell you, this is going much faster on film than it actually did in real person. Yeah, it was quite a long process, but like I said, our carpenter only worked 1 or 2 days a week because he does have another job. Now we've got to put the other beams up. This one we're taking out. We've got to take the other ones out and do the same thing. The boards come in 16-foot sizes, so we only needed 15.5 feet, I believe. So we took them out and we cut them all down to size and brought them back in, and we're going to put them on the ceiling. This was quite a process, but I have to tell you, I had so much fun working with Sean. He was a joy to work with, and he was just so patient and so good at what he does. I mean, these beams, just look at them. They're amazing. So this is the last screw, and it's in. Okay, so now it's time to put everything back. But I was thinking, this is a really great opportunity for me to change things around. Like you'll never see me change anything around, right? Well, I've been wanting to move a few things into a different spot, just kind of rearrange how this room works. So I'm going to put some chairs over here and put the sofa over there and just play around with it. Let me know what you think. Now it's time to stain all of the trim. You know it's getting close to being all done when you're staining the trim. I can't wait for you to see this. Finished staining the trim. Oh my gosh, look at it all. There is so much to do. I still have a couple more things that I need to stain, but those will come later on in the video. But right now, we need to get all of this trim up on the walls. The first 2 pieces of trim have gone up, so we're just working our way around the room, and he's here next. Okay, so we just put the trim up here above the fireplace. Doesn't it look great? I mean, it just, the color of the stain matches so well. I'm using a golden oak. Just matches that flooring, and it matches the existing barn wood that was here. So, oh, I just think it looks so great. And we did not have trim on this before. It was just the ceiling, the barn wood up against the ceiling. And then we have the wider trim here going around in between the beams. It just looks amazing. And meanwhile, again, the house is upside down. I've just got things moved around, and yeah. We have stuff on the furniture because our son is away, so we've been babysitting his dog for him. He's an old dog and he's just sweet. So right now we are working on trimming out this area here where the metal is up over the cook stove. So we just have to cut these pieces and we'll get those up. As you can see, this is a never-ending mess. I need to do a little cleanup, so Sean and I are just putting things away. He's packing his stuff up. He's got one more thing he needs to do, but most of this stuff can go home with him. And I'm just trying to make this kitchen a little bit less chaotic. So do you remember me saying we still had a couple more things we needed to do? Well, this is what we are doing. We're putting braces up on the upright beams. Right now, Sean is just getting them ready to put up. I'm staining the other ones. I thought that I could get ahead of him, but he's way ahead of me. I'm staining the other braces that need to be put up, and my husband is the cameraman today. You'll have to forgive the blurriness. It is really difficult. My camera is not really great at panning in and out automatically, so a little bit of this footage is probably going to be blurry. I really am on the downhill slide. This is it. This is the last bit of staining that I need to do, and I am finished, completely finished. Wait until you see how it looks after this. So before I show you what it looks like now, I'm going to remind you of what it looked like before we put the ceiling up. Just look at all of that black smoke damage. I am so glad to be rid of all of that. Now, let me show you what it looks like today. So what do you think? It looks great. We love it. We absolutely love it. It really warmed this whole space up. I think it's just what it needed. I feel like the white ceiling that we had before was definitely lacking. It was cold. It didn't look like it belonged here. And I know for me, every time I walked into the house, the first thing I did was look up and think, oh, I hate this ceiling. So we knew someday we were going to do something. We hadn't quite figured out exactly what. So if you're looking for a ceiling solution, flooring, it's a great ceiling solution. I mean, who would think of it? I don't know. I can't be the first one to think of it. There must be many others out there that have done the same thing. It looks great, and it's very cost effective as well. The beams, oh, I'm telling you, our builder did such a great job with these beams. We could not be any happier with them. They look amazing. They look like actual beams to us, and a couple people have been here and they didn't know the difference, and well, we didn't tell them the difference. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed everything that we've done in our home. This has been my favorite makeover so far, and it's the one I was looking forward to the most for sure. And I have to say, it took the longest, but I'm so glad it's finally finished. So I need to look at what's next. What do you think I should do? I am going to do another makeover somewhere, so tell me, where should I do the next one? And a bit of news. After this video goes up, you will see this on Friday. I will no longer be doing Tuesday videos. I have some other things going on that are going to prevent me from getting 2 videos done in a week. So I will continue with the Friday videos each week. So please, if you have not subscribed and you enjoy this content, subscribe below and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And until next time,